What is going on, Lions fans? I was doing some scrolling today, checking out my daily Detroit Lions news to see if anything new is popping up. And I came across an article that caught my attention on A to Z Sports. 4 winners and 5 losers from Detroit Lions OTAs. So we are going to get right into it and see what we think about this. These 4 winners and 5 losers. They start with the winners. First up on the list is cornerback Ennis Rakestraw. It says after a rough rookie season, Rakestraw has shown up to work with resolve and is looking to make his mark in the secondary. It won't be easy, but Lions head coach Dan Campbell named Rakestraw as one of the 6 players who have stood out the most. Now, it would be good to see Ennis Rakestraw have a breakthrough 2025 season after taking him in the second round last year. Remember, in 2024, the Lions went back-to-back corners in the first and second round, but Rakestraw was injured for, I want to say, 85-90% of the season. I mean, we rarely saw him on the field. So it would be good to see him stand up because the secondary, particularly at the corner position, has been one of the Lions' weakness, and it would be good to see if he can fill in some type of role. The second player on the list is Jameson Williams. It says everyone has been talking about Williams and how he's been showing growth and how the Lions haven't seen the tip of the iceberg of what he can do just yet. He's even put on some muscle this summer. It could be a huge year from him. And I believe the same thing. This is also a show me year. The Lions exercise the 5th-year option on Jameson, which means that they have all the way until next year to give him an extension. And this will be a great year for him to prove it. Hopefully, the new offensive coordinator finds a way to get him even more involved in the offense and to make this offense even more dangerous than it is. The next person on the list is Avonte Maddox. It says Campbell mentioned Maddox looked good at safety, and along with DJ Reed, he said they were both fitting right in. He's got the third safety spot locked down at this point. So there was talk when the Lions brought in Avonte Maddox that he wouldn't play corner, but they would move him to safety, really to fill that number 3 safety spot that Melifonwu left vacant when he left. So that would be a decent surprise to bring in a veteran number 3 safety. And then the fourth person on that list was Aidan Hutchinson. This is obviously, this was huge simply because he was there. Hutchinson broke his leg in week 6 of 2024, and it took a long time to get over that. He was on the field and looked like a guy who was ready to get back at it. It's hard to judge linemen at OTAs since they're not really going live, but athletically, he looked good. So I do agree. It does show something that Aidan Hutchinson is even out there on the field trying to give it a go, to show everyone that he is almost back to full speed. Now, they said that there were 5 losers, so let's see who they are. They start with quarterbacks, Hendon Hooker and Kyle Allen. It says the rap on Hooker was the same rap on Hooker last summer, missing deep throws, holding onto the ball too long, or getting rid of it too fast. Let's see if he's able to correct things this summer. Allen didn't look good either, or said he didn't look great either. He also had trouble with the long ball. There were some other misfires as well. So right now, these are the Lions number 2 and number 3 quarterbacks, and they're saying that both of them did not look good. So we kind of see now why the Lions called up Teddy Bridgewater, fresh off his high school championship from coaching, and wanted him to come in just in case the Lions needed him in the playoffs. The next loser is health. This is interesting. It says, per Dan Campbell, the following players were either out or limited during OTAs. I don't want to go through everybody on this screen, but if you can look at the screen, you see there's a lot of Lions who did not participate in OTAs because they were out injured. For some reason, I'm seeing retired Lions on this list, which doesn't make sense to me, but health was an issue for the Lions in 2024. Hopefully 2025 will show different. The next person on the list was David Wilson. I don't remember this signing, but it says, I just felt bad for this guy. He got signed by the Lions on Monday and then suffered an injury and was waived a few days later. We don't know what Wilson would have been able to do in Detroit, but he really never got the chance to show it either, and that sucks. And I would agree. I don't really know what position this kid was playing or who this kid is, to be honest, but That does stink to get signed on a Monday, and then by Tuesday or Wednesday, you're hurt and the team has to cut you. The next person, actually, is the last one on the list. It says Lions fans. The author goes on to say Lions fans are not losers, but they're probably sad about OTAs because Frank Ragnow retired doing OTAs. One of the best players in the NFL is no longer with the Lions, and now there are questions about what the Lions are going to do at center going forward. We'll have the answer before you know it. And I can understand that. It does make some sense to say that, because Frank Ragnow retiring, if you all haven't already, go and check out the video that I did last week on Frank Ragnow retiring. Frank Ragnow retiring is a big deal, and it is going to be a huge hole in the Lions offense. Like I said, whether it's Ratledge, the rookie, sliding in, or Glasgow sliding over, it doesn't matter. Frank Ragnow was the best center in the NFL, and he is not going to be easily to be replaced. All right, Lions fans, what do you think about this article by A to Z Sports, 4 winners and 5 losers from Detroit Lions OTAs? Give us your thoughts on it. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so we can keep talking Lions football. That's all I have for this one. Until next time, peace.